Ok, si no, llegando ahí preguntamos en alguna puerta como chingón. Oye, estoy en Coyacan.
Okay, well, hello. Um, my name is Tin, and should I talk to you or to the camera? To you.
Oh, talk to me.
Yeah. Well, okay. So we're here in Mexico City, and I'm here because I'm showing for the first time a film that I recently finished called Death in Arizona. I like to call this film a futuristic documentary. I like the sound of that. The first screening was really bad, technically. Yeah, but then the second screening was really good. It left the audience like confused in a good way, and I think I like that.
You like confusing your audiences?
I like confusing the audiences. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the story.
Well, it's while I was living in Bolivia, I was shooting another film, and I met this woman one night, and I met her in the main plaza of a small Bolivian city, and that same night I moved with her to her apartment, and we began this strange relationship. One day she proposed that we leave and we begin life in the countryside wherever I wanted, and I hesitated. It was a brief hesitation, and in that hesitation she left me. You know, she leaves me, and she goes and she marries an old Brazilian love of hers, and that destroys me entirely. You know, for the next months I just like drag around, and finally I realized that I need to go somewhere alone and not leave until I rid myself from this loss. No? So that's where the film starts, when I go back to the apartment where we used to live, which was her apartment, which is now empty, and I remained there for a year, just trying to like beat the crap out of myself and just get rid of this burden that I felt.
It sounds pretty personal. So is this, because this is your third feature?
Yeah.
Right?
The third
and
feature.
is this, we could say that this is perhaps the most personal?
It's way more personal, and at the end it's all shot inside the apartment through those windows, and how life outside changes and how I attempt to change as well.
What's your favorite Jodorowsky movie?
I don't know, maybe like Montaña Sagrada, maybe?
¿Cuál?
Montaña Sagrada.
Oh, Montaña Sagrada. I like Santa Sangre the best.
To tell you the truth, I have them all mixed.
Santa
they're
Sangre
all one film to me.
is the carnival. Films. Is when the boy that grows up in the carnival.
His the piano.
Yeah.
I like that one too.
I know, that one's really cool.
I think that's my favorite.
Yeah. But anyway, you were saying about the sci-fi element.
Yeah.
Of the movie.
Are you shooting?
Yeah, I'm shooting right now.
Yeah. So to pull the film together, I wrote this story about a meteorite that hits the Earth, and there's this Native American tribe that are the lone survivors of it, and it's about something starts happening with the children that are born after the meteorite, and it's very subtle, but they're breaking off with this human race. They're like beginning a new human race, and while I was there in the apartment for that year, I felt that that's what I needed. I needed to become this different man, and I needed to abandon myself, my old self, and that's the only way I was going to be able to leave that place and leave liberated. You know? So you have these two stories in the film that have to do with that, you know, with becoming something different and becoming something new. I don't think in the documentary you can extract reality, or you can say this is reality, and I'm gonna tell this. I'm gonna I'm gonna extract reality and show you what reality is, or this social thing that's happening. I'm gonna show you what's happening. And there is no such thing. It's always in the mind. It's always in how one imagines something or how one perceives something. You know? Life is what we as we perceive it, and that's it. And a film is just that. You know? It's a perception. It's yeah, it's the best interpretation or worst interpretation of what we want to make life be. You know? And that's what a film is.
When did you feel comfortable telling yourself, I could make this film, I could be a filmmaker, or I am a filmmaker?
I didn't go to film school, and I was studying physics engineering, which I never finished. I was like short of a semester. I don't know if I would entirely consider myself a filmmaker yet.
Why is that?
Well, the thing is that for me, filmmaking is just this excuse. I have all these questions. I have all these things I want to explore, and using a camera is how I explore them. No, so, but it's the reason I don't think I consider myself entirely a filmmaker is because I've come to understand over the years that I don't know if necessarily it's important for me to show my films or for people to see them. It's a nice sensation. No? I like it, but but I don't perceive myself as a filmmaker in that way. For example, this film, which is very personal, it was very cathartic for me to make this film, and I discovered a lot of things about myself, and I was able to liberate myself of a lot of things by making the film. Also, I feel sometimes that I shouldn't edit the film. You know? Like, for me, the film ends when I get out what I need by doing the film. You know? And then I force myself into editing it, and then I kind of force myself into showing it. But for me, the film ends when I stop shooting. You know? And
That's interesting. Because a lot of people think that the film doesn't come alive until someone watches it.
Yeah.
Until people watch it and they relate to it, because they transform the meaning of it themselves.
Yeah.
They interpret it.
Yeah, and that's what's nice about it. That's what I like about it.
What's your blood? What's your body?
Well, it's very strange because I'm from the north of Mexico. It's not particularly a border town, but it's close to the United States.
Monterrey.
And since I was very little, I've always felt out of place. I've never felt that I belonged there, ever. When I was doing this film, I spent a lot of time alone, and most of the time when this woman leaves me, I went to the Arizona desert, and I was there for a long time alone. And it was for the first time that I felt this sense of belonging somewhere. And it's not the Arizona desert. What it is it's that solitude and that loneliness. And it was very revealing for me, because for the first time, by being alone, I felt I could connect. It's the first time that I felt, that I was from someplace.
I think that Death in Arizona immediately, at least in the U.S., I don't know, suggests this, border crossing story or something like that. But in this, in your film, it's much more transcendental. I mean, it is sort of a reincarnation of some sort.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I would like to think there's different layers in that title, no? For one, it's this rebirth, this becoming something different, and but it's just the title of it. It seems like a border issue, like a social border issue, and there's something I like about it, because I really believe that these solitary, intimate struggles that one has to that one goes through are as valid as all these social struggles that humans go through, no? And through the years, I think I've come to realize that it's those intimate struggles to get rid of old ideas or to cut loose of many things are more valuable than what we believe to be these social struggles of change, you know? The only way that one can really reinvent or try and imagine a different society is if one cures himself of himself. You know?
2006,
Yeah.
you were at Sundance, your very first film.
Yeah, I've had like a reverse experience festival-wise with my films, because the first film that I did, which was about immigration, it's a good film. It's a bit naive. It has several flaws, many flaws. De Nadie, and it won the audience award at Sundance. My next film, when it played at Bafisi, it was booed in all of its screenings, and then it seems like as I continue making films, and I would like to think that with time they become more complex and a bit more profound. I hope so, but it seems like less and less people want them in the festival world. It's a strange sensation, no? And it's one that I've had to live with and try and find beauty in it. You know? Maybe my fifth film, only one person will see it. I think it's been liberating not to have to depend on others' approvals to keep doing them. No, it seems like for me it's done the whole contrary. You know, the less approval I get, it seems like I'm in the right track. It's a little bit conflicting because it was a very nice experience. It was very gratifying. It was just to have all this audience and the whole buzz about it. It was really nice, but I think it's misleading. I was in Bolivia recently, and I have this filmmaker friend, and he had just finished this film. It was a documentary, and he's an old man. He's like 70, and he was really excited because he rented this place in the countryside, and he was going to invite his friends, you know, his 27 friends, and they were going to see his film for the first time. And he was really excited, and there was something really beautiful about just finishing your film and having a small group of people watch it. There's something very essential about it. I hope that with the years I prefer that to being in a big festival, and I think that's what happens with filmmakers. You make a film and you want it to be at Sundance, you want it to be in Berlin, you want it to eventually be in Cannes, no? and that validates your work, but I don't think it does. I don't think that should be the aspiration. It's nice, it's intense, it feeds the ego, no? But there's no beauty in it. There's no intimacy about it.
But we can say that it does help sustain.
Oh, definitely.
Well, it helps sustain your next movie,
Entirely.
your third movie, right?
And that's why it's contradictory. If it wasn't for Sundance, I wouldn't have got the funds to do the second film. And probably because I was in Sundance and I won an award, is that I can make my third film. So that's where the contradiction comes, no? Waiting for that approval can be one's downfall, no? But it's necessary in order to keep doing it, no? I just hope I find a way to not need it and find stranger alternative ways to keep doing it without needing that approval.
Right.
I love Chris Marker. I love I love Herzog, for example. No?
Werner Herzog.
Yeah, but
Why? What is it about Werner Herzog
well,
for you?
because it seems that Herzog doesn't do films. It seems that Herzog just crashes into life, and he just has like these battles against life, because for some reason that's his way of exploration, and he just happens to have a camera with him. No? A spell to ward off the darkness.
Where'd you see that? You saw it already.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, you haven't seen
I
it.
haven't seen
But
it.
what
But
film?
I saw.
What's his last one?
I
that you
saw Slow Mo.
Oh, right.
Yeah, which is just blew me away.
Tamales de hoja de plátano. Se me antoja.
You ever had them?
No, ya, claro, por eso se me antoja.
Vamos al Centro Cultural Universitario de UNAM. ¿Sí sabe por dónde es? No.